afternoon. You are tuned into Ability Matters, program that covers matters to do with abilities, disabilities, and everything in between. Ability Matters is one of the longest-running disability-related programs in the whole wide world. Starting its headway on air in 2007, you can now listen to podcasts of previous Ability Matters programs on YouTube and Spotify. Just search for Ability Matters. Ability Matters is brought to you by My Home Living Care, an NDIS registered...
Yes, NDIS Registered Support Network. Thank you very much. Now, good morning, listeners. I'm your host, Tony Scott-Emilio, for Ability Matters, yes, and I'm just kind of flustered at the moment. And I'm here again with my co-host, Bec from Flagstaff. How are you, Bec?
Good. How are you today, Tony?
Well, obviously a little bit, yeah, but that's just me being, one of those things. Life's life, yeah. Okay, so who do we have with us today?
Today we have Bec, and she is from Uniting, so we're going to have a little chat and find out more about what she does there.
Wow, so I'm looking at Bec squared at the moment.
Yeah, Bec and Bec. B1, B2.
Oh.
Who's B1 and who's B2 then?
I don't know.
I think you'll have to be one since you're here all the time.
I know. You might be older than me, so...
Oh, age.
I think I might be.
You never know. You might be surprised.
Alrighty, so... okay, I'll just jump into a song quickly and then we'll go from there, shall we? Okay, now I'm going to open up with Dead Set. I think it's a rock classic by Eddie Money, 2 Tickets to Paradise from the 1977 eponymous debut album, Eddie Money. Here it goes. Wonderful. Yes, Eddie Money, 2 Tickets to Paradise, 1977 eponymous debut album, Eddie Money, self-titled, wonderful. Okay, now let's jump into the interview between Bec and Bec. Bec from Flagstaff and Bec from...
Uniting Local Area Coordination.
That's all. Is that what you're from?
Uniting.
Oh, that's right, yes. I'm just very used to hearing that, just Uniting. Never actually heard the full name before.
Yeah.
So what was it? Uniting Area Local Coordination.
Uniting Local Area Coordination.
Oh, you were close.
I remember seeing LAC.
Right words, wrong order.
That's what it stands for.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wonderful. There's a bit of trivia out there for all you listeners. Good stuff. Okay, let's jump straight into it now. Go for it, girls.
Thank you. So the first question, thank you for coming this morning. I really appreciate you coming along.
Thanks for having me.
Can you tell us about Uniting Area Local... Oh, I got it wrong.
It's all right.
Local Area Coordination.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm looking at the words, but it came out wrong. What does that entail? Because I'm sure there's a few different areas of what you actually do there.
Yeah, sure, I can. Let's just go with LAC for now. I think that's a lot easier.
Yeah, LAC, I can do that.
Or maybe LAC.
LAC, yep, we've called that too. So I guess listeners may know Uniting due to our other services. We do quite a lot in the social justice and early learning space, as well as in retirement. So we're a not-for-profit organisation, and we give care and support through every life stage, and we work to create change so that people and communities can thrive. But my specific area, Uniting LAC, is we're a partner in the community to the NDIS. So we assist to connect to NDIS participants and potential participants to supports both in the community and funded supports as well. And we've been a partner of the NDIS since the initial rollout back in 2016 and 17. So,
wow, one of the originals.
Yeah, and I've been there nearly that long. I'm
wow.
Nearly 9 years into my tenure with Uniting. But we assist people with access and eligibility, so kind of understanding whether they're going to be eligible for the scheme and providing them support in the community and connection, whether they're going to be eligible or not, and then understanding their funding if they do have an NDIS plan.
So, yeah, basically, because there's a lot of different areas that they might need to get help with in the NDIS, whether it be things at home, things in the community, things to do with building their skills and confidence and things like that. So it's just about letting them know what they have available to them to use.
Yeah, that's right. And looking at a person's goals, I guess, and taking note of them so that the funded supports can be aimed that way.
Oh, yeah, so it kind of matches that with what they're wanting to achieve.
Exactly.
It's actually going to make a difference and impact.
Yep, exactly.
On what they want to do.
Yep, that's right.
Sorry. Just reiterating. So as project officer, what does your role involve and what projects are you currently working on?
Well, I guess the work that I do as a project officer is a bit different to what our local area coordinators do. They work on one-on-one with people with disability, sort of helping them with the plans that we just mentioned, whereas my role in our team is we design and deliver specific initiatives that are more one-to-many people. It's complementary, I guess, to what the LACs do in their everyday role. And we look at addressing inclusion and community capacity building, so that it's not just all about funded supports, that a community is actually ready for that person with a disability to be involved in the way that they want to. And that creates a bigger impact, I guess, and a welcoming community for everyone.
I suppose, would that be like social outings to different, like maybe for a lunch, maybe?
Not really. So we collaborate with the community and we identify areas of need. So gaps in the community where people may not be as welcome as they should be.
Yeah.
And then we talk with our partners at the NDIA for approval of those projects, and then we work on those specific initiatives. So I brought some examples, if you'd like.
One quick question, sorry.
Yeah, sure, Tony.
I always thought that Uniting Care was just for pension age, like retired age people, but you handle disability as well.
Yeah. Yep, we've got lots of different spaces.
I understand like disabled with older retired people, but I didn't realise you handle non-people who aren't retired disability as well, yes?
Normal people.
Oh,
Younger
no.
people.
Did I say normal? I'm sorry. I said non. I meant,
Yeah, people without disability,
That's
people
fine,
with Uniting as a whole does a lot in the community. They've got things like a medically supervised injection centre, to assist people who are struggling with addiction. That's in Sydney and Redfern.
Okay.
Early learning. There's so many different parts of Uniting. Financial counselling, I believe.
Also,
but my specific patch is working in as a partner with the NDIS.
So the term Uniting actually stands for something like bring the whole thing together as one.
Yep.
It's not just I always just took that for like Uniting as like bringing all the retired people together as one sort of thing.
Yeah, got you. Well, I guess we just try to bring everyone together.
Wow. That's what I get for not opening my brain.
Yeah, I know of Uniting up at Farnborough Road.
Yeah.
The Flashing and Derra. That's
Yeah.
for the older retired residents.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a really big place. I think there's over 12,000 people in Uniting now. But in the local area coordination team, I guess we've got around 400 staff.
Wow.
Yeah, but I thought I would give you a couple of examples of the projects that we're working on at the moment.
Go for it.
Yeah, so we've got 3 at the moment. The first one I was going to talk about is the Council Inclusion Collaborative. So we work with councils to help them achieve their disability inclusion action plans. So every local area needs to have one of those because it's about localised disability supports and how that community can be more inclusive. So, for example, just on the weekend, we worked at the Kiama Winter Festival.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we set up a sensory space, but I actually designed an accessibility scavenger hunt, and we had like over 200 people come and do that scavenger hunt.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
They went around to different parts of the festival and answered questions about accessibility.
I'm assuming the prizes were appropriate.
The prizes were lollies.
Oh, lovely.
Everyone loves a lolly, right?
Lolly, yeah.
So we were trying there with that activity to keep disability need in mind in the community, not just with people with disability, but those without. One of my colleagues, she goes to the Tamworth Country Music Festival and sets up a sensory space there because it's such a busy, noisy festival. So there's hundreds of people that came through there just to regulate because they needed that within that environment. And then another example, earlier in the month, we went up to Blue Mountains to the city, their City Council Disability Confidence Workshop, and we delivered that workshop for a staff development day of all the library staff. So they kind of were better prepared to deliver good customer service and include people with disability in all of the libraries.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's a good one of our projects. We've got another one as well that is called A New Chapter. So it's looking at ways to address the prevalence of domestic and family violence for people with disability. Unfortunately, the stats still say that there's a greater risk of violence for people with disability, and that can be due to that intersectionality of an unsafe environment and then some disability-specific barriers. Sorry,
would that also include the disability people having accidents themselves? Would that be included in that greater prevalence of violence?
Do you mean like perpetrating?
Oh, no. Would that be considered as self-inflicting if they have your own, say they trip over or something like that? Would that be considered act of violence?
That's a safety thing.
No, it's more when someone's inflicting pain, I guess, or injury on someone else, or emotional.
So you're talking people who work there, who don't treat them with care. They just
It could be workers. It could be in a family home setting. It could be anything like that that's in that domestic setting. Yeah. Yeah.
That's clearer now. Thank you.
That's okay. So with that, we worked with a leading disability advocate, Tricia Maloney, and she helped us develop a series of personas, which are like a de-identified case study, I guess, of a situation where somebody might be at risk. And that helps frontline workers understand the barriers and risks presented and how to approach those in a positive way for a better outcome. And obviously less violence in the world is a good thing. Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
And then lastly, the other project that we're working on at the moment is called Life Cycles. So we understand that there's so many different transition points in a person's life with a disability, whether you've just acquired a disability, whether you're moving out of high school and going into that working environment, whether you want to move out of home, whether you want to have a meaningful personal relationship, whether you want to have a good social life.
Have kids.
Have children, exactly, become a parent, retire. All of those different life transitions. And we're looking at those with a lens of, well, what are the enablers to make that really meaningful and have it be successful for the person?
Yeah.
And sort of going down to that granular level, like there's a lot of focus on coming from high school out into the work environment, for instance. But it's also actually quite difficult for a child with a disability to go from year 6 to that year 7 environment in a high school with different teachers every hour and different parts of the school.
Whole different structure, the way that's set up.
Different kids coming in. So with that project, we want to see how best are these transitions supported to happen and what gets in the way, or what is that enabler that makes it really successful. And, there might be that gem of a tip from someone that's been through it before that could really help others. So to identify what these transition points are and how to navigate them, we're going to bring together people with disability and their supports and gather data, I guess, but it's gathering case studies and stories that will be shared broadly at the end of the project period. And that will help people just to enable, a big, amazing and regular life.
Just find a similar situation to what they may be dealing with themselves.
Yeah. So
and see how people actually got through that and worked it out. So it was a much better positive experience for everyone.
And a really big cross-section of those stories too, because I think it is difficult. Certainly I'm actually a mum of 2 neurodiverse kids and I have ADHD myself. And I know that there's so many points of doubt. So having other people to support you and understanding what they have been able to share, it can be really valuable.
Yeah, definitely. They're not
isolation.
Alone in that situation. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a very wonderful way of putting that there. Would you say points of doubt is another way of saying lack of confidence?
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that uncertainty that comes with either finding something new or navigating something new can really make you feel alone. And I think people with disability have had that enough.
Definitely. Let's swing to a song now.
Yeah, I believe that was the point of this whole NDIS thing is trying to make it more self-included sort of thing, or make it more inclusive. That's the term, inclusive environment. Yes, that's it. Okay, yes, song, beautiful. I've got here, lined up the next one here, I've got some Doobie Brothers with Taking It to the Streets from the 1976 self-titled album, Taking It to the Streets. Yes, Doobie Brothers, Taking It to the Streets, 1976 self-titled album, Taking It to the Streets. Makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, self-titled. Okay, getting straight back to between the Bec Squared partnership. We've got Bec and Bec. Although one's my usual co-host, Flagstaff, the other one's from Uniting Care. Good stuff. Go for it, ladies.
Okay, so you mentioned a little bit that you do projects, or I don't know if it's more so projects or have services that cover all ages. Can you maybe touch a little bit on what some of those are so that we get an idea of what you actually do there at Uniting? It sounds like you do a lot.
That's right, covers all ages. Yes.
Yeah, Uniting itself does a lot, but I don't know, the integral details, I guess, of every different service. I know mostly about Uniting LAC. But I think we're going to talk as well about sort of the age group that we work with.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so generally Uniting LAC will work with people aged 9 and above, as the NDIS has NDIS early childhood approach partners who work with those younger cohorts from age 0 to 9. However, with our projects, the things that we talked about before, a lot of those initiatives can benefit anyone of all ages, and especially when you're thinking about, say, that council approach, that's going to help that whole of community when we're working with a council to make them more inclusive. So it should include people with disability and people without really as well, so that it is that whole community approach.
Yeah, and it's then it also gives them a little bit of interaction. They get to know what someone might have, and I call it all abilities or altered abilities.
Yes.
Someone's a little bit different, but it doesn't mean that they can't do all the other things that someone does in the community on an everyday basis. It's just they might need to do it a little bit differently.
It still can get done, just a little bit maybe slower.
Yeah, depending
that's
on the
it.
person, that's right. We're all different. We've all
that's
got
right,
different
differently.
needs. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I kind of, the best one I can think of is a parent, once you have a baby, so much of your life changes, and people don't even think of that. That's a massive lifestyle change.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, but I guess specifically if somebody was wanting and heard this and wanted to talk to us about applying for the NDIS, we'd be that front door for them to come and talk to somebody to understand what the scheme is and to help them apply. And that would be people from aged 9 and up. So parent carers can contact us if they've just got a diagnosis and their child is 9. Ahead of that time, it would be another partner who worked with that younger cohort.
okay, yes, I think I've heard of them. Nowra's.
There's a few different ones, and I was going to, talk to you kind of about the way that works. So,
No worries, let's go with that then. Tell us more about that.
yeah, sure. So, for Uniting LAC is the NDIS partner here in Illawarra, Shellhaven. So, we've got offices in Nowra and Shellharbour and Wollongong in this particular area, but we're also a partner in southern New South Wales, Western Sydney, northern Sydney, Nepean Blue Mountains and the Hunter area as well.
So you're all over the shop.
Yeah, so but if, say, you're in central Sydney, it would be a different partner.
Right.
So the projects that I'm talking about are active in the areas that I've just mentioned, but
local.
if a listener was here and they're not in one of those areas, they could search who their local LAC is by the NDIS website. Yeah.
So that's the power of the LAC. They control the sort of, I won't say king, but the person who's in charge of their local area, yeah?
Yeah, so
Hence local area coordination.
well, the best way I can explain it is the NDIS is the thing, the scheme. It's the mechanism for those supports to be delivered. But the government agency that runs that is the National Disability Insurance Agency.
Right.
And that's who we're partnered up with. So they get us on the ground to be able to talk to people about their support.
So the NDIA, the agency, the National Disability Insurance Agency, actually is in charge of the NDIS.
That's right. Yep.
So
That's who's who.
I'm sure, I know everyone who I've ever spoken with, that's included, like carers, etc., included, they've always just assumed or communicated to me that it was all just under the big NDIS umbrella. So if you want anything done, just refer back to the NDIS. And that's what all the communication numbers were always just labelled as NDIS with those two little column things and then a number after that. It's like, okay, well, we'll go along with that then. NDIS is everything. Cool.
Yeah.
Even though now we've just learned NDIA is, what will I say, above NDIS because that's more the puppeteer.
Well, the NDIA is the agency that runs the scheme, basically. So they're responsible for it. And you can, in the community, you can use those terms interchangeably, really.
Yes.
The NDIA is the NDIS. They're responsible for the scheme, but they enlist partners like us. A way to think of it is, I guess, it's a subcontractor, I guess, if that's easier language to understand, but they get us to assist with running the scheme at a local level.
So basically the way you just said subcontractor, is that like the NDIA is the boss over the NDIS?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep, they run the scheme and then they get our help to run it as well.
So NDIS is like the middleman and NDIA is the person in charge who ticks all the boxes, etc., etc.
No, the NDIS is the way that the support is delivered. That's the model that they're using, and the NDIA run the NDIS. I'm not saying it's not confusing when you throw LAC in the mix as well.
Wow. Because I'm sure you have seen many blank stares before, but I'm sure my one there is just like taking the cake, hasn't it? Yeah.
Think of it like a training rollout. Say you had to do training at Vox FM on presenting. So they're in charge of organising the trainers that deliver the training for the presenter.
So the NDIA organised the people who train the people who work for NDIS.
Yeah, in a way.
I'm just speaking gibberish at the moment, but yeah.
I guess just to give you a bit more detail on how it would work, it might help. So The NDIA are responsible for any financial decisions. So where I mentioned before, we might help somebody gather all their evidence and apply for the scheme, but we don't make the decision or press the button whether that person gets access to the scheme.
On the funding.
Yeah, that's a responsibility of our partners at the NDIA.
That's why I was saying the puppeteer thing, but it's okay.
I don't call them
The analogy,
puppeteers.
no. The NDIA, like people in charge pulling the strings, they were in charge of the money. That's what I meant by that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
so they're financially responsible for the scheme, and then they get us to help with the on-the-ground one-on-one with people. And then in my case, helping with projects to help the community. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Is that clearer?
A little, thank you.
Little? Good.
So you're on the NDIS, but the NDIA and the people that they get to help out are the people that deliver that to you.
I understand it perfectly with my own analogies in my head, but I can't communicate them as clearly as it is in my head, so it's okay.
That's okay.
Beautiful. Okay,
No
let's
worry.
continue.
Okay, so how do people get involved with Uniting LAC?
So for projects and I guess for general inquiries as well, you can get in touch by phone during business hours. We've got a customer care team. Their number's 1300 453 303.
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, sure.
Please?
1300 453 303.
Awesome. People might have a pen that they want to write.
Yeah, of course.
And I'll try and do my best to try and repeat that later on in the show.
That's okay.
So this was, what was again, the NDI?
That's for Uniting Customer Care.
Oh, okay, thank you.
To get through to the LACs. So we have staff on that can answer your query, even if your LAC may not be in that day. If they're on leave, you can call through to that number, or if you're a new person wanting to make an inquiry. But if it doesn't work for you to do that during business hours, we've got an anytime way to get in touch, which is online. So if you just go to the general Uniting website, you can just go to uniting.org and search LAC, and you'll be able to put through an inquiry there. But with projects and things like that, if anyone's listening and wants to get involved in one of our projects, especially that life cycles that I mentioned, because we want that lived experience to shine through, they can get in touch on those same methods and just let in their inquiry just say that it's for a project.
They'll direct it to the right
and we'll
person.
get in touch, because that lived experience is going to be really incredibly valuable to what we create. And so, if anyone's interested, it's pique your interest, get in touch with us.
Sounds like a plan.
Wonderful.
All right. I think we'll have another song. Is that all right, Tony?
You don't need to say it twice to me. Song's my thing. Okay, I've got one. I'll eventually get to it later on, but for now, I've got here Bonnie Tyler, Holding Out for a Hero, from 1984 album. It's on a couple albums, actually. The first one that everyone might know from is the Footloose soundtrack, but then, of course, it's got another one. The actual album is called 1986, so 2 years after the original album came out. It was on the second album, Secret Dreams and Forbidden Fire. Yeah. You're tuned to 106.9 Vox FM, the Illawarra's greatest community radio station. Yes, it is. And now, I just had a bit of a relapse in thought, I suppose. But the reason why I included the Bonnie Tyler song, I knew there was more reason than that in my head, but it was because of her recent passing. Now, yes, I mean, recent passing as in she recently died. Now, officially, the cause of death was here. She died in Portugal after being treated for a ruptured appendix. Died in hospital in Portugal being treated from a ruptured appendix from subsequent complications. Now, she underwent surgery for intestinal surgery in May and was put into a medically induced coma at that stage there, but then remained critically ill in intensive care before her passing. So she went into put into a coma in May and then remained critically ill in that stage there. So she's been in a coma since May. And then
I'm just doing the maths there. Yeah. May. Then June, now we're in July. She was in a coma for quite a while.
I didn't know about it, did you?
I only knew that she passed.
So I heard that passing news on the radio the other day. That's why I included the the Bonnie Tyler song just then, but yeah.
Well, it's amazing. You can still go easily from minor things these days, apparently.
Yeah, I just thought that would be something so treatable. Yeah.
There you go.
Perhaps she let it go that little bit too long.
Well, that's what it
before
says
she
here.
went and got that medical assistance.
So don't be afraid of the doctor out there, people.
Yeah, got a tummy ache, you go to the hospital.
So true, so true. So I would like
Let's
to
go back
talk.
to it, shall we?
Thanks. So I'd like to ask a little bit about Bec, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
I'm just curious, what do you like to do outside of work? People often don't put a person as the person away from work. They just think that they're that person that's always doing that job, and
Yeah.
that's all they do.
Well, no, I'm into quite a few things. I love my fitness. I've run a few marathons in my time.
Wow, marathon.
Yeah, I've done 4.
Now you're just showing off.
It was when my kids were little, so I had a
Okay.
good reason to get out of the house.
And a good
escape.
reason to get fit again.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely.
But I've recently taken back tennis as well. So I played tennis all my life when I was younger. My mum was a big tenniser. And my sister and I... Tenniser. Yeah,
Wow.
she loved her tennis. She
That's
was
a new
wild
one.
about it. And anyway, after 25 years, my sister and I are both back playing, and it's absolutely lit us up. We're loving it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you play as a doubles team, or do you just go
It was
individually?
strangest thing. So I was asked by my friend to play tennis, and she was asked by her friend to play tennis for the same comp in the same year without speaking to each other about it. So I messaged her and said, I'm going to play tennis again. She goes, me too. We ended up both winning our grand finals. We were put in a different comp to each other, a different division. So that was a bit of a boon recently when winning the grand final, which
exciting,
is
yeah.
great. And now we're going up a couple of divisions, so we're really scared about how that's going to go. We've been practicing.
So do you do it in a local competition here, or
Yeah.
up in Sydney?
Oh, no. So I'm from Kiama, so it's the Kiama Shellharbour District
enough.
Tennis
That's,
Association.
that's something else we can have the LAC stand for, local area competition.
But, I love that. I think it's you get lost in motherhood sometimes, so it's really nice to be able to go and do something that's just for myself.
And if you're a guy, it's fatherhood, but yeah. And I'm trying to fail a joke to myself there, don't worry.
But aside from that, I like live music. Whenever I can get out and see local live music or get concert tickets, I love to go and do that. So
Do they have music at the Kiama Winterside Festival over the weekend?
they had heaps. They had everything there. It was the best festival. We got really nice feedback actually this morning from the event organisers saying that they didn't want to do it without us.
Oh, that's exciting.
It's exciting, but it's also, it shows that there's not that community readiness to do that inclusion initiative on their own, which is what we're
They
trying
want
to
some
prepare them
help,
for.
yeah.
Which is great. It was great to demonstrate that process, but it's great when communities can do that for themselves and it's built into part of their inclusion. But, yeah, there was heaps of live music there. There was rock climbing. There was adult piggybacking.
Oh, wow.
There was curling, that winter sport where you do
they
had
had
that
the broom.
on an outdoor thing.
On the ice?
No, they had like a blow-up outdoor.
It usually is on ice, but I think you just need like a smooth surface.
Right.
Yeah, I think they had 10,000 people at that festival on the weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. It was
I'm
really,
sorry,
really
but-
busy.
I didn't hear about it at all.
Didn't you? Well, mark it down for next winter because it's going to be on again.
In
Lovely.
Kiama.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to demonstrate that I was in a cave or under a rock or anything like that, but I watched the news most
It
every
may
night.
have been.
Wasn't on there? I think I-98 might have had it on there, your competition.
The competition, yeah.
Ah.
That's not the best place for me to pass on a message because I'm not the biggest fan of. No, I don't want to say it, but yeah.
Well, maybe you just need to sign up for the Kiama Council newsletter and then you'll know what's going on. Or on Facebook. It was on Facebook as
I'm
well.
on Facebook, but yeah, I don't. That's the Claimant Council, not my local. Yeah, so it
Yeah.
makes sense, but fair enough.
But it is to attract everybody, and they certainly did that. I saw a lot of people that I knew, obviously, being my hometown, but there were so many tourists that were visiting, and that's the whole reason is
A
to
lot of
activate
people
that.
would have done that, and a lot of organisations, I think, would have done that as a social outing.
Yeah.
People to go and spend the day.
They said that they had an increase in people with disability attending, which was great because aside from the scavenger hunt and having that space, we actually did a social story and presented that to them so that they could advertise that ahead of time because that's really good for people who are neurodivergent.
So true,
Or have an intellectual disability or anyone really that just wants to get prepared about what's going to be there.
Yes,
So
I it's a competing council, but I know that Wollongong is very good at putting that stuff together with the social story.
Yeah, it's so important. Those little things can really include people, and hopefully my job will be redundant one day because it will be fully inclusive. Yeah.
I think that some people will always need a bit of guidance on what that inclusion involves. Yes, but thank you for sharing that with us. It's good to hear about the person behind the role and
very enlightening.
Know what they're doing.
You're welcome.
Now, the next song I've got actually lined up is something by a band I don't play too often on this show, but it's one of my more favourite bands that I like. The next song is called Tears of a Clown, written in 2015. It's actually inspired directly by Robin Williams' death from the album The Book of Souls. Now, the band is, don't be too afraid now, the band is Iron Maiden, but how to listen to the song? It is empowering. It is powerful. Yes, and that was, like I said, a total left field from me about Iron Maiden, inspired by Robin Williams. Now, I love Robin Williams, but there you go.
I would have never thought he would have liked that music. You never know.
Yeah. No, it's not. I'm not saying Robin Williams listened to Iron Maiden, but they said, Bruce Dickinson, the singer, said when he was interviewed about the song, the inspiration of the song was entirely Robin Williams passing when he read it in the paper or whatever it was. So there you go. And when I heard all the lyrics to that song, I'm like, yes. Okay, so let's there's 10 minutes till 1 p.m. and please stay tuned to Vox FM. You've got the Smooth Connection coming up with Eileen. We all know what she's all about. Good music and everything like that, and good words. Okay.
And I'll just wrap up here with Bec. The last question.
Bec, go for it. Yes, last question. Thank you.
Could you please share your contact details, Bec? 'Cause I'm sure there are some people out there that would not like to find out more about what you do.
Yeah, sure. So I've provided the phone number before, but I'll go again just in case. 1300 453 303 will get you through to our customer care team. Or you can just go to the uniting.org website and send through an inquiry. If you prefer a specific email address, it's uniting, so uniting.customercare, that's all one word, at ndis.gov.au. And we'd really love to hear from you. Our projects only sing when we've got community involvement.
Definitely, and I think that there'll be a lot of people out there that might be interested on a few different levels of being involved with what you do and seeing what you have to offer.
Well, thanks for getting the word out there for me.
No, not a problem. Thank you for coming along today, Bec. Really do appreciate that, and we might get you a couple of months down the track to do another one.
I'd love that.
Wonderful.